I've always believed that love, when true, could weather anything. I used to think that if two people cared enough, they could find their way back, no matter what tried to pull them apart. But life has a way of testing your heart in ways you never expect. This story isn't easy for me to share. It's about the night everything changed. A hotel stay that was supposed to bring us closer, but ended up breaking me apart. It was our 3rd wedding anniversary. Things between my wife, Emma, and me had been distant for a while. Work, stress, and the slow fading of romance had quietly built walls between us. I thought maybe a weekend getaway could fix that. Just the two of us, no phones, no distractions, just love. I remember how she smiled when I surprised her with the hotel reservation. It wasn't anything extravagant, just a cozy mountain resort, surrounded by pine trees and silence. She hugged me and said, "Maybe this is exactly what we need." Those words felt like hope. We packed light, drove for hours, and laughed like old times. It felt almost normal again, like maybe, just maybe, we could find our way back to each other. When we checked in, Emma seemed off. She spent a lot of time on her phone, sometimes turning the screen away when I looked over. I brushed it off, told myself she was just texting her mom or checking work messages. That evening, we had dinner by candlelight. I tried to start deep conversations. About us, our future, the small things that made us fall in love. She smiled politely, but her eyes looked elsewhere. I should have asked her then what was wrong. I should have faced the silence instead of filling it with small talk. But I was too scared to break the illusion that maybe things were still okay. Later that night, after dinner, she said she wanted to take a walk to get some fresh air. I offered to come along, but she told me she needed some alone time, said she just wanted to clear her head. An hour passed, then 2. Her phone went straight to voicemail when I called. A storm was rolling in, and I remember standing by the hotel window, watching lightning crawl across the mountains, telling myself she was fine, that she'd be back soon. But something inside me, something cold and sharp, told me to go find her. I walked through the lobby, out to the parking area, then toward the row of smaller cabins behind the main building. That's when I saw it. A faint light through one of the cabin windows, and Emma's coat hanging on the door handle. My heart started racing. I knocked once, no answer. The second time, I heard movement. Hurried whispers. I don't know where the strength came from, but I pushed the door open. Inside, time froze. Emma was there, but she wasn't alone. The man with her. I recognized him immediately. It was Ryan, my best friend since college. The look on both their faces, panic, guilt, fear, said everything words couldn't. I didn't shout. I didn't break anything. I just stood there numb. As the rain began pounding on the roof, Ryan tried to speak, said it just happened, said they didn't mean to hurt me. Emma cried, begging me to understand, to listen, but all I could hear was silence. The kind that echoes so loudly it drowns everything else out. I left the hotel that night, drove aimlessly until the rain blurred the road. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I couldn't stay. For days, I couldn't eat or sleep. The betrayal played over and over in my mind. The woman I loved and the friend I trusted most, both gone in one moment. Eventually, Emma reached out. She wanted to meet, to talk, to explain. Against my better judgment, I agreed. She cried, told me it was a mistake, that she felt lonely, neglected, unseen. And maybe in some way I had failed her too. But that didn't justify what she did. Forgiveness didn't come easily. For a long time, I thought it never would. Months passed. I moved out, started therapy, learned what it meant to rebuild from the ground up. One night, I found myself scrolling through old photos of that hotel trip. And oddly enough, I didn't feel rage anymore. Just sadness and a strange sense of gratitude. Because that night, as painful as it was, became the beginning of my healing. It forced me to face truths I'd been avoiding. That love without honesty isn't love at all. And that sometimes, people you trust most are the ones who teach you the hardest lessons. Emma and I never got back together. She moved away, started over. I did too. Ryan tried to apologize again months later, but I never responded. Some wounds don't need closure from the person who caused them. The closure comes when you decide to stop reopening the past. Looking back now, I realize that night in the hotel wasn't the end of my story. It was the start of a better one. Pain has a strange way of cleansing, burning away everything false so that something real can finally grow. I learned that peace doesn't come from holding on, it comes from letting go, forgiving quietly, and trusting that even shattered hearts can find their rhythm again. So, If you're listening to this and you're holding on to someone who broke your trust, please remember this: sometimes losing them isn't punishment, it's protection.